What's going on, guys? So I'm going to give you guys a quick update on where we are, what we're doing, what happened in the last live stream. A lot of you guys were saying I lost signal, so I'm going to tell you guys what happened. It's freaking hilarious. I almost had to ask for help. I almost had to call for help. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure how bad the situation was, but I did get out of it. Now we're back to our third spot. We're gonna go visit one more spot after this. We're gonna turn on the GoPro here too. So we're here at Callahan Unit on Lake Corpus Christi. I mean, not Lake Corpus Christi, Choke Canyon Lake. We're gonna probably walk down to the pier. If not, we're gonna walk down to where the ramp is at and walk around to the little fishing pier, and we'll go see what that looks like too. But we're gonna have to be careful because what just happened at the last place we were at, which was Mason Point, I ended up falling into a bunch of mud. I didn't know that the mud was that soft. It didn't look soft. It looked pretty dried on top. So when I was walking on top, I ended up just basically going into the mud about knee deep. And I'll show you guys my shoes. So I actually went to the fish cleaning station to go wash myself off. I was like, I don't know if I couldn't remember if they had showers out here or not, but I'll show you guys what my shoes look like real quick. This is what my shoes look like right now, full of freaking mud. So I went to the fish cleaning station, and instead of cleaning fish there, I was giving myself a bath. Again, it went all the way up to my shorts. My shorts are about to my knees, right above my knees, and I was crawling out of there with my elbows. Because I couldn't walk. 2650 Smoky, my God, dude. So I couldn't walk, man. So what happened? That's the reason I lost the signal, because I went from walking here and then all of a sudden I dropped down to 2 feet into the mud, and so I couldn't get myself out of there. So I had to put the phone to the side. And I think eventually I just ended the stream because it lost signal anyway. So I was basically like army crawling out of the mud. So I was all full of freaking mud. I was knee deep in mud, and I looked like an idiot. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to Callahan Unit first, because you don't have to get off, and they can just take my card and then give me the ticket to go in. So that way I don't look like an idiot going to the South Shore Unit, walking all full of mud. At least you still have your shoes. Yeah, I know. So this was freaking embarrassing, man. So that's why I went to the Callahan Unit first, because they could just take my card. I don't have to get down. So they took my card. They didn't know I was all freaking full of mud other than my arms, which is fine. So I came over here to the fish cleaning station and gave myself a bath. And now we're going to go ahead and walk down there and go look at the rest of Callahan Unit. And then we're going to drive to the South Shore Unit. But yeah, that's what happened. I ended up knee deep in mud, and then I was able to hold myself up with my arms and crawl out of that mud. But I sat there for about 30 seconds, 20 seconds, like, oh shit, how the hell am I gonna get out? And I'm live streaming, so I didn't know that it had gone dead, the live stream, when I sank into the mud. But it was funny. But yeah, eventually I was able to army crawl out of that mud, and I got out of there just fine. But thank God there was no gators in there close by. I believe the restrooms by the shelters has a shower. Does it really? The restrooms by the shelter. Oh, okay, I see. It's probably those over there on that side. Yeah, they probably do. I still have mud all over my clothes, but I'm not too worried about my clothes. I was more worried about if I get hungry or something, I want to go get something to eat, a snack. I don't want to walk in there full of mud. But yeah, so that's what happened. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna turn on the GoPro and turn on the video for the rest of the guys. They're gonna be watching later, and we'll get started. Hopefully we don't get into no more mud. But yeah, that's what happened. I ended up falling into a bunch of mud, so it was embarrassing. That's why I came to the Callahan Unit next, so that way I didn't have to get down full of mud. They could just take my card. And then I was like, well, I can go clean myself off, give myself a bath at the fish cleaning station. So, all right, guys, I'm going to turn the camera around, and we're going to go ahead and start walking down there. But yeah, that's what happened. I fell in the mud. I didn't even fall in there. I just sank into the mud. I didn't even know. It looked pretty. And you guys will see in another video that I'm going to upload. There's about 100-yard stretch before we got to the water. So after the camera cut off, the live stream went dead. I continued on, even though it was all muddy. I continued on for about another, I don't know, maybe 200 yards, 300 yards walking. And there was another area that was open, and it was just dry. And I was like, well, let's go ahead and test this out gently. And yeah, I mean, I walked maybe like 10 yards into that dry area, and nope, same thing. It was still really muddy, and I still had another 80 yards to go. And I was like, no, there's no way in hell, because if I walk over there, I'm 80 yards in there, I'm by myself, there's no way I'm gonna get out of there if I fall in that mud. So yeah, so we didn't do it, but I did get some videos of it, got some pictures. I'll upload all that stuff later. Probably later this week I'll work on all those videos for you guys so you can check them out. So look out for those. Turn on notifications. It was actually really cool. So it was actually really green, but underneath it was actually super wet, and you would never know if you just walked across it. You would never know until you're, you know, chest deep in mud. But it looked dry, but it wasn't. But yeah, so this is what, wow, this is what the lake looks like. The last time we did a video, the water was still all the way back in here, and all this still had water the last time we made a video. And I believe, you know, from what I can remember, the water was still up to about these areas years and years ago, back in the early 2000s, you know, maybe 2006, mid 2000s, 2007. The water was still all the way up in this range. Once we got into like 2010s, 2012s, the water maybe started dropping to about right in here. And then even more so, maybe like the 2020s, now we're dealing with water maybe to where that T-post is at. And fast forward to 2025, 2024, now 2026, the water's completely gone. 2025, like around September-ish, the water was still here in this little dry area. That was still full of water. And then a couple months before that, the water was still all the way back in there, because we made a video on that. And then they actually did try to work on this area too. So the Parks and Wildlife Department did try to dig it out a little bit, that sand and silt that's there. They did try to clear it out and make a usable boat ramp, but the water was just going down way too fast, that it didn't last very long. Kevin, what's going on, Kevin? Hope all is well. So yeah, so that's what happened there. Now we're going to continue walking. We used to fish a lot in this area too, this little like a little, I don't know, rock pier, if that's what you want to call it. Used to fish a lot of that area too. And we'll walk around, see how soft that mud is, because I don't want to do this all over again. But we'll try to walk as far as we can, at least to find water. I want to at least find some water. I don't know where the water's at, but there's got to be water here somewhere, because the lake does still have a little bit of water, just not very much. And so all these were still in the water, you know, maybe 3 years ago. All these things still had some water underneath them. So they did move them down. So these things were slid down. They used to be up there. And then as the water started receding, they started dragging them down until where you see them today. And same thing for this one. This one was a floater. This was a floating dock here. And this guy started up way over here, more or less where the grassy area was at. They used to have a wooden one. Smokey, don't walk out there too far. Yeah, I'm gonna try not to, man. It was not gonna lie, I kind of shitted myself, because I was, for about 30 seconds, I thought, I don't know how the hell I'm gonna get myself out of here. Like, I'm by myself, and I was kind of looking around, like, is there any sticks or something that I can grab onto? There was nothing really I could grab onto. So I panicked for about 2 seconds, and then I just realized, okay, just crawl out slowly, don't make any crazy moves, and get out of here as easy as possible. Because if I start trying to walk through here, I'm going to go worse further down. But yeah, anyways, Gentry, is that Lake Mead? It looks like it with how dry it is, but no, this is Choke Canyon Lake. This is Choke Canyon Lake in South Texas. We're visiting another spot after this, so turn on notifications, subscribe, do all that good stuff. We're gonna go visit another spot after this live stream too. But no, this is Choke Canyon Lake. This is the Callahan unit. So this is the place I used to fish a lot as a kid. I would come out here all the time with my dad and have a lot of good memories on this lake. But unfortunately, it's being taken away by Mother Nature, unfortunately. But yeah, back in the day, that this floating ramp used to be back down where that grassy little patch is at right there. But it wasn't a floating one, it was a wooden one at that time, years ago, back in like the 2000s. And then slowly they started moving them down. And then kind of more recently, within the last, I would say 10 years, they ended up buying these floating ones, these plastic floating ones, which seem to last a lot longer. These are the ones they used to have on this side too. The wooden one used to be on this side as well. But yeah, these are the ones that are made out of like the, I forgot what this stuff is called. But yeah, they're the fake wood stuff, but it lasts a long time. And this is where they did dig it out. So right here, you'll kind of see it. There's like a little ditch right here. So they brought a backhoe and they tried to dig this thing out. But unfortunately, it didn't last very long. The water was still here back in, I believe it was 24, maybe 25, 2024, 2025. The water was still up to here because they had just dug this thing out. And they were using this as a boat ramp because the water was still up to this point. And then I think it was either 24 or 25. I still tried to fish down in that direction. Didn't do so well. Caught like two little ones, maybe, I don't know, maybe 14 inches or so. Small ones, two small ones. And that was again 2024, 2025 frame. So the water was still in that range. Not that even that long ago. This boat ramp didn't last very long because the water receded way too quickly. So right now we literally look like we're just hiking, like there is no water. But we'll go find the water. We'll try to find the water. Again, if it's not too bad, we're not gonna, I don't want to fall in the mud again. I'm just glad there was no freaking alligators like right there waiting for me, because if it was any worse, they would have had an easy meal because I would have been trapped in the mud. But it looked freaking dry. That's the reason I was walking on it, and then all of a sudden, bloop, it just took me right in. I see a little puddle there, but that doesn't look very safe to walk on, that's for sure. But we'll walk, just check it out, see what the hell it looks like. For those of you guys who watched this still have water, I know I posted that video last year. I want to say maybe like September-ish or so, maybe October, somewhere in the time frame. And this thing had water in it. The water was still well past. Okay. Okay, I think it's back on. Live is back on. We'll keep walking as long as we can, as long as live will allow us to. But I mean, this looks. Those of you guys who like mead is similar to this too. It's drying out very, very rapidly, and we'll kind of test it out a little. We will not be able to do that. I really want to walk over there, but no, I'm not. Yeah, there's this little puddle here. And a little puddle there. This is just crazy, man. Like months went by and it's gone. The water's gone in just a few months. Like I said, it has not been that long. It has not been that long. Whoa. So this is where we used to fish, right in here. all in here used to as a kid. We could just drop little baits here and get a bunch of perch all along these rocks. And then on the other side of this little thing, which we'll walk around on that side too, we used to catch a bunch of channel cats in that side too. But yeah, man, these are just memories now. Memories now. There's no water. And we're looking at a water is what I'd be under right now had it been full. And then once you get down here, maybe you're looking at maybe 35-ish feet of water. So it was pretty deep. And it looks like people have tried walking through there or something, and it looks like the same thing's happened to them. They've gotten stuck in that mud. My gosh. Remember, I don't know if you guys remember that last video I made, the very, very last one I posted. This little tree was still underwater. And it had maybe about 2 feet of water, maybe 3 feet of water around it. And now look at it. It's completely dry. Completely freaking dry. We'll stand here and kind of just look at this, man. Look at that. Again, Callahan Unit, Choke Canyon Lake. We haven't even found the water yet. We haven't even found the freaking water yet. And for reference, we're going to throw a rock into this mud. We're going to see just how bad that stuff really is. There it goes. Oh, yeah. Nope. You would not be able to walk through that stuff. Heck no. Wow. We still haven't found the water. We're still walking for the water. Like, we already walked maybe 100 yards, 130 yards or so. We still haven't found any water. Other than these little puddles, but I mean, that doesn't really count. It's not connected to the main lake. Hey, there are some little fish in here, though. I think those are minnows. I just don't want to get too close, because then we'll have a problem. But yeah, a few months ago, my last video, this tree was in the water still. We had about 3 feet of water, give or take, around this tree just a few months ago last year, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, and right now, if you trying to walk in areas where it's picking up signal, because it's yeah, it's getting. Wow. There's somebody's anchor or something right in here. Oh shoot, yeah, somebody used to use this as an anchor. Just a concrete. There's no telling what you'll find. I had a subscriber reach out to me and told me that they were finding arrowheads down about maybe 40 minutes, 45 minutes from here, that they're finding arrowheads in this lake bed. About like I said, about another 45 minutes south of here, they're finding arrowheads in that dried up lake, which we might go visit that one next week. For that, we'll see what miles what the school looks like for next week, and if I get a chance, I want to go out there and if I get a chance, I want to go out there and maybe hunt for some arrowheads myself. Yeah, this is the little fishing ledge that we used to fish off of as kids growing up, and even as a teenager, I was still fishing up on this ledge. And then even more recently, now it's gone. It's gone. It's crazy. And again, we were making that video a few months back. This was all still water, and we were running into alligators down that way. And now there's nothing there. No water. We've walked about 200 yards, at least 200 yards, and we have not found any water yet. Just nothing but dry lake bed. It's crazy. And this is where all the boat traffic used to happen. So all in here, the boats would come off of that boat ramp, and they would come in down through here, coming down through here, just like the main for the boats, because the water used to be past even where you see here. All that green stuff back in there used to be underwater. It's only recently that this is the only area holding water that's like a dry lake bed, but there was more stuff holding water back in there. Wow. Yeah, I feel the ground moving underneath me, and I'm not even